Don't divorce somebody because he even cheat 3 times. I'm begging you. You can divorce somebody for attempting to kill you. He shoot you and he miss you. The bullet miss you and you escape. Don't go back to that house. Some of you are divorced and you really want to know, is it godly to be divorced? Depending on the circumstances that brought about your divorce. There are 4 issues I will deal with today. Then you can know the possible grounds for divorce. First thing I want to establish about divorce. Divorce can play out on marriages that are not joined together by God. You know, sometimes you can lie to yourself. You can deceive yourself. Going after a man, going after a woman, not really because you are convinced this is from God, but because you just naturally like the person. If you don't have valid proof God led you into that marriage, then the marriage is subject to revocation at any time. Why should this marriage break? The marriage will break because God was not involved. People can pretend as if God was involved. People can lie and say, God told me. Biblically, we have guidelines. On this ground, you can divorce. Marriage can be revoked. The first ground the Bible talks about is adultery. That is insensate sexual immorality. Either the male partner or the female partner. Anybody that is caught in insensate immorality, sexual immorality. Such relationship might be subject to revocation. A man who is in God will not be subject to sexual immorality. Because when adultery becomes your lifestyle, stop lying to people that you are a child of God. If it persists, your partner have right for marital revocation, which is the same for divorce. If you are caught in adultery once, you can be forgiven. But if you fail to change and you continue in that life and your partner he or she felt, I can't continue, she has right. Or he has right to call that marriage off. Matthew 19:9. I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality and marry another woman commit adultery. If you felt you can cope with somebody who humanize or humanize, if there's womanize, there is manize.
Yes, sir.
So if as a lady you can cope with somebody who humanize, and as a man you can cope with a woman who humanize, you are good to go.
Yes, sir.
You can divorce if you are dealing with a cheetah and you cannot cope.
Yes, sir.
But I'm not encouraging divorce, please. I'm only teaching you. Don't divorce somebody because he cheat once. It can be a mistake. Don't divorce somebody because he even cheat 3 times. I'm begging you. Give her enough chance until when you realize it has become a lifestyle that you can no longer cope with. Number 2, attempted murder. You can divorce anybody that attempts to kill you. Not mistakenly, deliberately, premeditatively, the person wants to kill you. And listen, not first attempt, maybe first, second, third attempt. Please, you have right, you have a strong ground to divorce. I'm not saying little fight or misunderstanding, please. Attempted murder means you can see, maybe he carry a gun, he want to shoot you. He shoot you and he miss you, the bullet miss you, and you escape. Don't go back to that house.
Yes.
Don't ever go back to that person. Somebody carried a knife, he wanted to kill you and mistakenly stab you in the hand. Get out of that marriage. That marriage, God is not in it. Number 3, acute deception. There's a lot of deception you discover which are dangerous to your own life. There are deception that you can choose to forgive, but there are costly deception that are very deadly. Somebody deceive you, he had a disease that is transmittable, that can destroy you, that can kill you, but never disclose it to you. If he discloses it to you and you love him, you might choose to go on.
Oh yes, oh yes.
But you were deceived to realize that the person has a dangerous or deadly disease that can be transmitted to you. Genuine marriage should not be on the ground of deception. That's why it's important you disclose realities, your health status and all of that. You get into a marriage. All right, write down 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 3. Now the last one is apostasy. Apostasy is a situation where both of us marry together as believers, and suddenly you change and say you are now serving the God of stone or the God of one river, and I do everything possible to persuade you that we didn't meet when you are serving the God of river. You met when you are serving Christ. Why will you go back to the God of river? I say that is what I want to serve now. Then I have right to cut off the marriage. 2 Corinthians. He said, if any brother has a wife who is not a believer, he married her that way, she is not a believer, and she is willing to live with him, he said he must not divorce her. If a woman has a husband who is not a believer and he is willing to live with her, she must not divorce him. He said, for the unbelieving husband has been sanctified through his wife, and the unbelieving wife has been sanctified through her believing husband. Otherwise, your children will be unclean. But as it is, they are holy. But if the unbeliever leaves, let it be so. The brother or the sister is not bound in such circumstances. God has called us to live in peace. If I marry somebody that is an unbeliever and she's willing to stay with me, she loves me that way, and my unbelief will sanctify her. It is the unbelieving person that will choose to do what? To go. You are free. You are not bound. Now, these are instances where divorce can be allowed.